by the looks of this, I am not going to have enough dough for that huge bowl of mashed potatoes that I made. But what I will do, this will be for dinner. This dough will be for dinner. And then I'll probably make another dough and I will freeze them. Pierogies, you can freeze them and, you know, lay them flat in a bowl, like a long bowl or something. Lay them flat and get them frozen, and then put them in a Ziploc bag, or I have one of those machines where it takes all the air out of it, a food saver. Okay, so that's it. So we probably use, I want to say maybe 3/4 of a cup. I will put this recipe on whenever I'm done. So there's our dough. It's real pliable, real easy. Oh, I should probably read the recipe to y'all again. Let's see here. Page 23. Let's see. Okay. So I've had this cookbook for a long time. When was this published? Let's see here. This was published in 2000. So this cookbook's from 2000. And it is from Clymer, Pennsylvania. We're originally from Indiana, Pennsylvania. So somebody was selling this whenever I had my shop, and I bought it. So her recipe, so I'm going to read you her recipe, and I'm going to tell you what I did to it different, because I do that a lot. Okay, so her recipe was the 2 eggs, a half a cup of milk, a half a cup of water, a teaspoon of salt, and 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I added the butter. I added 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Not where it was hot, but where it was cool. So that was her recipe, and I added the 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So yesterday when I was on here and I said, I'm going to move some of this stuff. I am a stacker. When I said you can make a recipe your own, that's what I did. Back in the day, and you can see I have it starred. I don't know if you can see that or not. But back in the day, when I started making these, I was like, it needs a little butter. So after I made them the first time, I added the butter. So, like I said yesterday, if there's a recipe that you like and you think that there's something that you can do to make it better, then make it better. Make it your own. And I have no problem doing that, guys. All right, let me put this book down. And the water's at a boil. So, let me get my rolling pin. I did something to my knee. I'm not sure what I did, but it is paining me like crazy. Who knows what you are making? Is it bread? No, we're making pierogies. We're making pierogies, guys. We're making pierogies. I have the mashed potatoes behind me. I already made them. So I'm using my bench scraper, and I'm just going to cut off a little piece of this dough. You're welcome, Debbie. And then, like I said, I have another bowl of flour that we're going to use, and we're going to roll this out. Now, your dough should be between 1/8 and 1/4. Try to get it as thin as y'all can, okay? Because you don't want a really thick noodle, okay? You want to be able to taste the noodle, but you don't want a super thick noodle. So that's just my preference. If you guys have your own preference, you can absolutely do your preference. Some people like different things, and that's just my preference. So we're making pierogies, guys. I have the mashed potatoes ready. I did 9 potatoes this morning, and after they were done, I added my warm milk, butter, garlic powder, and my Pit Boss smoky cracked pepper. Okay, I'm going to roll this just a little bit more. I probably should have got out my fondant roller and put the blades on it, and it would have been perfect. But that's okay. We'll do this. It's no big deal. Okay, so we're going to use this 4-inch cutter. Okay. And then I'm going to bring the mashed potatoes over, and we're going to fill them. And I'm going to need a fork as well to crimp the edges. Okay, so pick your dough up, get it out of the way. Now this is not a, what do I want to, it's a time-consuming recipe, y'all. It's time-consuming, very time-consuming. Now I'm going to use my Pampered Chef. I'm going to use my, hi Mary, hi Barbara. I'm going to use my Pampered Chef small thing. I might use 2 of these. That we're going to see. Now, like I said, once you start these, you need to let them cook for 10 minutes, y'all. Yeah, I think that's plenty. Can you see that? Actually, I might make these bigger. I might get a bigger cutter out. I don't know that this is even big enough, but we're going to see. We're going to see. And this one kind of shrunk up on me, so I got to pull it. And I put a hole in it, so you don't want to use that one. Okay, so let's do this. Let me get my fork. Okay, now, oh, let me get some water too. Let me get some water, y'all. You don't have to do this. It's not in her recipe. You don't have to do this. We are making pierogies, guys. We're making pierogies. You don't have to wet. She never had that on there. I just like to do it. It's your preference. That is not in her book. Like I said, that's something else that I did. So that is completely up to y'all. Okay, so let's get this. I really stuffed them. And if you have long fingernails like I do, it might be a little challenging for you. I should have bought a pierogi maker, but I have never bought one. So, I mean, why buy them when you can do this? So there's your pierogi. Is that potato? It is. So I made mashed potatoes this morning. Hi, Tammy. I made mashed potatoes this morning. And I have cheese, 2 different kinds of cheeses. Now I'm just going to flour this platter a little bit. And I'm going to set these pierogies on this platter. So I'm just going to start lining them up, y'all. So I made mashed potatoes this morning, and they have cheese in them, garlic, 2 different kinds of cheeses I put in there. You guys can make it your own. And I put garlic and Pit Boss cracked, was it Pit Boss? I always say this wrong. Smoky salt cracked pepper. I like this stuff. It's really good. I got it at Costco, I believe. Well, let me say this. It's either Costco's or Sam's, because those are the 2, or BJ's. We have all 3 of them here. You don't think you're gonna go around it big enough? You mean the crimping it? No, this will be fine. They won't come open. You love pierogies? I mean, if you don't like it this way, you can pinch it with your fingers. By all means, do it. You know, if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. Those look so good. And you know what? They are, this dough is delicious. This dough's delicious, y'all. You gotta make it. So if you don't like me using the fork, I'll use my fingers. You love pierogies? Okay. So like I said, in her recipe, she didn't, pierogies and empanadas are pretty much the same. Yeah, I think empanada dough is a little bit different, Michelle, I think. I've never made an empanada. Your dough looks so fluffy. Thank you, hon. It is fluffy. So let's see. Somebody said maybe I should crimp them better, so we'll just use my fingers. We'll do that. There you go. And I'll read the dough recipe to you again. I think what you did was fine. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes people have their own way of doing things. You know. I do like the fork. That's just me. I'll do both. I feel better with the both. That way I know they're going, well, you do what's best for you, Joe. You know what? I'll just do both. I think that I want to make sure that they don't open up on me whenever I'm cooking them. And, I mean, I've been making these for a long time, so. It's just, you know, this is the way I watched my grandma make them. So, we'll do both. We'll do both. So just lay them, here guys, just lay them on your platter. Do you fry them? Okay, so at first I have a pan of water here and it's starting to boil. So I'm going to make a few of these and you boil them first and you should boil them for like, I want to say 10 minutes. To make sure your noodles are good. And then my family likes, after you boil them and strain them, my family likes to have, yes, I see a great grandma used to make them when she lived. Oh, yeah. Anyway, my family likes them sauteed in butter in a skillet with onions. So after I do this and I get them all done, I'll do a couple of them so you guys can see it. But I'm going to keep going right now. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is a big bowl of cheesy potatoes. I know for a fact that this dough is not going to be enough. So I will be spending a lot of time in the kitchen, y'all, today getting these pierogies done. So, Haley, yum. Yes, yum, for sure. Okay, I'm just going to cut off another piece, some pieces of dough with my bench cutter. And so we have it all cut up. And then the dough that are you having pierogies for supper? We are. I am making pierogies and I'm making my homemade chicken strips. My twin granddaughters come over every Friday night and they love pierogies. So I figured, you know, sometimes when they come over we just do like a quick meal. I'll do like French fries and nuggets or something and a veggie for them. But tonight, sometimes I do like a ham dinner. It just depends. So tonight, such a cute tradition. Yes, it is. So tonight they're going to get they're going to get homemade pierogies and May's homemade. They call me May. So they're going to get May's homemade chicken strips, and they love the chicken strips. So they like my fried chicken too, but the girls, they prefer the chicken strips for sure. They are, our twins are 14, and gosh, I just love them to death. They come over every Friday night, and I don't know if somebody saw last weekend, the one twin got on here and cooked with me. She likes to bake a lot. So, we did I don't know what we did last week. We did something. I'm not sure what we did together, but we did something. Something she wanted to do, and I said, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it on live. And then the other twin decided to come out, and yes, we're making pierogies. The other twin decided to come out, and she was like, well, I wanted to help. And I said, well, we already did a TikTok, and I said my Facebook Live didn't work, so we'll go on there, and you can do some on a Facebook Live. So it made them both happy. So this size of dough that I'm rolling out, I'm only getting 6 pierogies at a time, guys. I mean, you can make it bigger and go bigger if you want. Hi, Mabel. But this is good for me. 6 at a time is good. I don't want my dough to get, like, yucky. So I'm using... Now, you can make these bigger, guys. You can make these bigger. You can make them bigger. You don't have to make them this small. So for a 4-inch round cutter, I am using my Pampered Chef small scoop. And in my mashed potatoes, I have 2 different kinds of cheeses. I have a cheddar blend and I have a fiesta blend. And then I added garlic, butter, and smoky salt cracked pepper. Now, in her recipe, it didn't say go around the edge, but I choose to do this. You don't have to do that. It's up to you. The dough is so soft that it's going to crimp together anyway. But it's an extra step that, I mean, it's already a time-consuming kind of thing, so why not just finish it? All right, so let's do this. Get that over. I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but when I fold this over, I kind of take my thumb and I kind of push in on the center of the mashed potato so it kind of hollows it, and then just bring it over. And then I have a rag here to wipe my finger off, so if it sticks to you. That way it kind of rolls. It makes like a roll. Actually, I probably should have put it in that probably would have worked too. I could have put it in a pastry bag and just squeezed it in there like I do my my kolache cookies. That would have worked too, right? Whatever is easier for y'all to do. I'm not saying hi to anybody. Sorry, I'm looking down, crumping these pierogies. Okay, and then I'm going to pick them up, and I'm going to pinch them too. They got a nice size popping on them. Can you share your dough? Yes, I'll get that right now for you. Just give me 1 minute. I'm telling you, if you guys make this dough, you're going to love it. It's so soft. It's so pliable. You do not want your pierogi dough to be a stiff dough. That's like a big no-no. If your pierogi dough is stiff, they're going to taste hard. Like, they're not going to taste, I don't know. They're just not going to taste good. Take it from me, for sure. Okay. All right, let me get my dough, my recipe. So this book is from 2000, guys. So in her recipe, she had 2 eggs, a half a cup of water, a half a cup of milk, a teaspoon of salt, and 3 cups of flour. Now, you'll need an extra cup of flour whenever you pull that out. And I added to the recipe 2 tablespoons of melted butter. You'll need an extra cup of flour. And why I say that is your dough's going to be tacky if you go. I'll put this back on afterwards, but if you watch, the dough's going to be tacky. And I added about a half a cup of more flour. And what I did was just put a little bit of flour on top of the dough, pressed it, put flour on the surface, turned it upside down, put more flour, and I kept adding sprinkles until the dough looked like this. Okay? So you want your dough to be soft. Yeah, you could dip them in gravy, sure. There's people that dip them in gravy, and we're originally from Pennsylvania, and the churches out there make pierogies, and they make all different kinds. They make the kind that I'm making with cheese. They make plum ones. They make sauerkraut ones. They make all different kinds of pierogies. So there's all different kinds. Thanks, Jay Clark, for the badge. There's all different kinds of pierogies you can make, guys. Hi, Teresa. I don't know what I was thinking about doing this. That's a lot of potatoes. I'm gonna be working a lot today, guys. A lot today, for sure. But make sure you keep your surface floured. You want to keep your surface floured. As you can see, this dough is really, really flexible. It's a very good dough. And I don't roll out big, you can. I just prefer not to. You can roll out bigger sheets if you want. I just prefer not to. I like to do a certain amount at a time. Hey, Joe, thanks. Okay, so let's cut some more. And then I think our water is at a rapid boil. I did put salt in that. So I'm going to, hi Rhonda, I'm going to put some pierogies in there, and I'm going to cook them, and then I'm going to strain them, and then I'm going to put them in the skillet, and I'm going to show you what else I do to them. I'm not going to put any onion in them today. Reason being, my granddaughters do not like onions. So there will be no onions today. And that's perfectly fine with me. My husband's not. He doesn't. Hi, Linda. He doesn't like a lot of onions either. So, you know, I'll do what I think is for the girls. And I spoil them. I spoil them, for sure. Oh, yeah, you can make gnocchi out of this, too. Absolutely. I can make gnocchi out of the rest of those potatoes, that's for sure. I surely could. Or I can make some pizza dough and make a pierogi pizza. I can also do that, guys. All right, let's get some mashed potatoes. Has anybody ever had a pierogi pizza? They are so good. These mashed potatoes smell so good. Or I can save some mashed potatoes for tomorrow, and I can make a ham dinner and make some gravy. So trust me, they're not going to go to waste at all. All right. So water again. Water again. Like I said, this is not in her recipe. This is just something I do. You don't have to do it. It's completely up to y'all. Honey in. Okay. I actually, personally, I think, hi, thank you, Jay Clark. I actually think that if I filled up a pastry bag, it would probably be easier. I don't know. When I cook or when I bake, my mind races like, oh, what can I do to make this better? My mind's always going one way or the other, trying to think of different. My husband says I have that artistic brain where it doesn't shut off. Hi, Dina. Okay, so now let's get my fork. And then we're going to boil some of these puppies. This dough, I wish you guys could feel this dough. I mean, this dough is just like, it's phenomenal. I'll have to make my my grandma's egg noodles. She used to make homemade noodles all the time, chicken and noodles. Oh my gosh. When we would have family reunions, hi Dina, hello. I just got on here. What are you making? We're making pierogies, hun. We're making pierogies. This is my homemade dough, and I made mashed potatoes. I'll read you the recipe here in a minute. And anyway, my grandma, for all our big family reunions, and we would have a Christmas Eve. We would do a big Christmas Eve, and we called her Gigi. She would make vats of chicken and noodles. Do you? I love homemade noodles. Nothing but like homemade noodles. And you know what? A lot of us make them a lot of my grandma's granddaughters make the noodles. I don't know that we've ever perfected them like she did. I can almost bet to say, no, we haven't. But in our minds, we have. In our minds, we've done well. Okay, guys, I'm going to throw a few of these in. This water is boiling. Now, another thing is, I say 10 minutes. A lot of times they say when they float to the surface, they're done. So I'm going to set the timer while I put these in for 10 minutes, and I'm going to keep looking, and we're going to see if they're up to the surface or not, okay? Alexa, set the timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Okay, y'all, I put 6 in. All right. Yes, noodle recipes. There's so many different noodle recipes out there, but my grandma's noodle recipe, it's very simple. But I'll tell you, she used to hang noodles all over that kitchen. I mean, they would be everywhere in that kitchen. And she would just do it for days. I mean, days she would be making noodles. I mean, we had a big family, so. And usually when I say she made a lot, usually, you know those roaster pans, the great big white roaster pans that people use? She would do 2 of those for family functions, and they would just be completely full of chicken and noodles. Now, I learned a lot from her, and I'm grateful for everything that she taught me. But sometimes I sit back and I say to myself, gosh, I wish I would have learned more, you know. And so when my granddaughters are here, if they say, nay, I want to make something, I don't care what I'm doing. I stop what I'm doing and we go to the kitchen and we make it. And someday when I'm not on this earth, they will remember that. And that's what I hope they remember. I hope they remember everything that I have taught them on how to decorate cakes, how to do cookies. I mean, my 2 granddaughters can whip up an icing recipe and decorate a birthday cake. So, and so can my grandsons. My oldest grandson is 19, and he was 7 years old when he made his first cake for my husband, for one of my husband's birthday. Was it perfect? No. Was it perfect for him? Absolutely. And I have a video of him making it, and that is something that I will always cherish. I will always cherish that. Okay, let's take a look. They are not starting to float yet. They're not starting to float yet, guys. So, while we do that, I'm going to let's get this pan going. I want to get some butter in here, y'all. Let me get some butter. Let's get some butter going in this pan. Okay, so right now we have 2 that are at the top. We have 2 that are starting, well, they're not completely at the top, but they're starting to come up. So, I was going to do my grandma's sugar cookies today, and I thought, well, I got the girls tonight. So, maybe Aubriella will get on here and do them with me, her and Paisley. They, depends on how long their mom lets them stay tomorrow. Sometimes I get to keep them until 5 o'clock Saturday, which is really nice. And then sometimes we just go shopping. We do that a lot. I go shopping. If they say, hey, Nate, can we go to Marshall's? Like I said, whatever they ask, I'm getting flour all over me. Whatever they ask, I pretty much try to do, because, I mean, they might even just want to go to the dollar store, and that's fine with me. You know, they like to craft. We do a lot of crafts together, so whatever they want to do, I try to indulge. And my husband says I spoil them rotten. I do. I spoil the boys too, don't get me wrong. Our second grandson, I hope he got his license today. He said he was going to go get him today, so we'll see. I hope he did. He passed his test. He just had to go get his picture taken. And he stopped the other day. I had to get off here. I was doing a live, and he stopped with his mom. And I asked him if he had gotten his picture taken. And he said, no, I want to go get my hair cut first. So this is very time consuming. I mean, if you have a rainy day and you have nothing to do and you want to make pierogies and you want to make a double batch and fill that freezer up. I mean, that's why I said I'll just make another batch and just keep going, because I can fill my freezer up, and you know, the next time I won't have to make fresh. I'll just pull them out of the freezer and flash boil them and be done. But so I got the butter going, and we still don't have all of them to top. And we have 3 minutes left on our timer. So somebody, there was a person on here, and he suggested pinching. So I'm doing both. I always just use the fork, but I went ahead and indulged, and they kind of look pretty this way. So I know it's an extra step, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to be on here all day, y'all. I'm going to be here, well, not with you guys, but I'm going to be doing this all day. My feet will be tired by the end of the day, because not only do I have to make pierogies, I got to make my homemade chicken. So. And I'm going to start laying these on the can. I'm going to get some flour, because I do not like how, I don't want to stack these. So what I told you guys you can do is you can lay them on a tray, put them in the freezer, get them frozen, and then put them in a Ziploc bag or a food storage bag. You can suck all the air out. Okay, so this butter is melting. We got one more pierogi that is not floating yet, guys. One more. Hello, just got on here. What do you make? We're making pierogies. You guys want the recipe again? Okay. Let's see here. Wrong page, Jen. 2 eggs, a half a cup of milk, a half a cup of water, a teaspoon of salt, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and then have another cup of, hi Trish, have another cup of flour ready, because that dough is going to be tacky. If you can go back and watch, it's going to be tacky, and you're going to need to add a little flour at a time until your dough looks like this, where it's soft as a baby's bottom. Okay? So hi, Dina. All right. Let's see if we got them up yet. Not yet. Not yet, guys. So what I'll do with my pierogies, I'm going to line them up on a sheet pan, and I'm going to stick them in the freezer. And then later on today, while my chicken's frying, I'll start making my pierogies. I'm going to take a little bit of that butter out. We only have 6 pierogies, so. I hear my neighbor blowing his horn. We have a neighbor, and he has 2 large doodle dogs. And these dogs, all they do is bark, bark, bark. If somebody walks down the street, and they are very aggressive. Alexa, stop. Okay. They are to the top. So, y'all, it took 10 minutes. 10 minutes for these pierogies. I'm going to take it up out of the water. I'm going to let it drain a minute. And I'm going to put it right in the pan. Can you hear that butter crackling? Now, I'm going to add some smoky salt cracked pepper to these pierogies. And I'm going to shut this off and put the lid on that. And then we're just going to let these saute. And then we're going to plate them and y'all can see what they look like. Hold on a minute here. All right. If you guys want a good seasoning, this is really good. Really good seasoning, guys. Really, really good. All right. So I still have more dough to do, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to get a plate so we can plate these up. Can you guys hear the crackling? Yeah. It's a crackling. I'm just going to flip them over. Joe, are you still on here? I hope Joe's still on here. If he is, I want him to see what these look like whenever they're done. And I'm going to get a new fork. And we'll plate them up and then we'll cut one. Hey guys, we're making pierogies today. I have a whole bowl of mashed potatoes. And this is all the dough that I have left. So I'm going to definitely have to make more dough. I'll probably get maybe 20 out of what I have left. And that is definitely not going to be enough for our dinner. So I will keep making pierogies. But I wanted to get them on and get them done. I see the chat is starting to slow down a little bit. But come on, guys, get back on there. Let's watch this. All right, we're almost ready. I was hoping Joe would come back on so he can see what they look like. Okay, guys. We're almost ready to plate them. I have flour everywhere. I'm trying not to get it on my plate. Now, when you cook these, you can cook them as crispy as you want. My granddaughters don't like them real crispy. I like them crispy. You can make them however you guys want to make them. So I'm going to put them on here and I'm going to show you guys what they look like. And let me shut this eye off. Let's line these up so you guys can see them. And there are your homemade pierogies, guys. You see them? They look really good. They look really good. Now let's see how they taste, okay? Let's pull one. So I don't know if you can hear this, but listen. So they got a good crunch on them right now. Can you hear that? So they have a really good crunch on them. let's pull this one. I'm going to scoot these over. So when my husband gets back, he can taste one. I don't want to burn myself. There's the mashed potatoes. Mmm. So good. Now, this is very hot, but imagine this, if you like onions, with all the butter and onions that you want. Thanks for the badge, Dina. Thank you. Thank you, Jay Clark. It's so good. You see the mashed potatoes in there? So I hope you guys make these. I know they're time consuming, but if you have a day that you don't have a lot to do and you like to make homemade stuff, this is something that you can make and freeze and have reserves for another time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make them, and I hope you make them. So, like, follow, share, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Well, maybe we're going to go off. There we go. Bye, guys.